ever wondered what, true spiritual mastery really looks like? Is it
Yeah.
all about, like, extreme discipline? Or is it something maybe much deeper than just the outward stuff?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into an ancient text that tackles exactly that, head on.
We are. We're unpacking the Mahāsīhanādasuttaṃ. It's often called the Great Lion's Roar Discourse.
Sounds impressive.
It is. It's this incredible source, basically chronicling a conversation, a really fascinating one,
Between who?
between a dedicated ascetic named Kassapa, who's quite curious, and the revered spiritual teacher, Samaka Gautama. You often hear him referred to as the Bhagavan.
Got it. Okay, so what's our mission with this deep dive then?
Well, we want to pull out the key insights from their dialogue, really,
Okay.
to help you understand how this ancient wisdom defines what genuine spiritual attainment actually is.
And why it's maybe considered difficult.
Exactly. Why it's genuinely difficult, and also why figuring out who's a true master, well, it might not be as simple as you'd think.
Interesting. So maybe expect some surprising facts. A new perspective on self-mastery, perhaps.
I think so, definitely.
All right, let's dive in. Let's set the scene first. Where does this conversation happen?
Imagine a pretty serene deer park. We're in ancient India.
Okay.
And this ascetic, Kassapa, he approaches the Bhagavan, and he's heard something. A pretty significant rumor, it seems.
Okay, so what's on his mind? What's the rumor?
Kassapa basically comes right out and asks him. He says something like, "Sir, I've heard that Samana Gautama criticizes all self-mortification."
All of it.
Yeah, and that he criticizes everyone who practices extreme austerity, harshly blaming them.
So he's basically asking, is this true? Is this what you actually teach?
Pretty much. He wants a direct confirmation or denial. Is the report accurate?
And how does the Bhagavan respond? Is it a simple yes or no?
No, not at all. His response is actually really nuanced.
Okay.
He starts by clarifying that whoever is spreading that rumor, well, they're misrepresenting him. He says they aren't repeating his words accurately.
So a blanket condemnation isn't his position.
Right. He doesn't do that. And then he explains why. And this is where it gets really interesting.
Oh, how so?
He talks about his divine eye, this special insight he has.
Divine eye. What does that mean here?
He describes it as this, like, pure vision, way beyond normal human sight. And with it, he observes ascetics.
Okay.
Both those who practice really harsh austerities, the text calls them tapasi lukajivi, and those who practice with, much less suffering, apadukkha vihari.
So he sees both types.
Yes. And here's the kicker. He sees some people from both groups ending up in bad places after death. Undesirable realms, suffering, hell, basically.
Both groups, even the ones practicing mildly.
Yes. And conversely, he also sees others from both groups, the harsh and the mild practitioners achieving good destinations. Desirable realms, heaven, sugati zakalahoke.
Wow. Okay. So the outcome isn't directly tied to how harsh the practice is?
Exactly. That seems to be the core insight here. Because he knows their actual destinies through this divine eye, he clarifies he doesn't just condemn all self-mortification across the board.
So that's a huge first takeaway then. It completely challenges the idea that, more suffering automatically means more spiritual progress.
Precisely. It shatters that assumption. Your ultimate destiny, according to this, isn't just about the outward actions, the harshness or lack thereof.
It's something deeper, something internal that maybe only he could see with that special vision.
That's the implication, yeah.
Okay, so where does the conversation go from there after dropping that bombshell?
Well, building on that, the Bhagavan then sort of proposes an intellectual
A
challenge
challenge to whom?
to other teachers.
Yeah.
He describes them pretty vividly. Wise, subtle, skilled in refuting others' views, like expert hair splitters. He's acknowledging they're clever.
Okay. Acknowledging the competition, so to speak.
Right. He says, look, there are points where we agree, but there are also places where we definitely disagree.
And the challenge is,
He suggests a way to assess whose teaching is actually superior. He poses these core questions,
what are they?
essentially. Who truly gets people to abandon the bad stuff? The unwholesome, blameworthy, uncultivated, ignoble, dark teachings and practices.
Is it Sama Gautama or is it these other teachers?
Exactly. And the flip side, who truly gets people to practice the good stuff, the wholesome, blameless, cultivated, noble, bright teachings?
So it's about the actual results in terms of ethical and mental cultivation.
Yes. And the Bhagavan is pretty confident about the answer.
How so?
He basically asserts that any intelligent person, anyone Vinyu looking at this objectively, well, they'd mostly end up praising him and his community, his Gautama Savaka Sangha.
That's quite a statement. That's the lion's roar part, maybe.
That's certainly part of it. It sets a very high standard and makes a bold claim about the effectiveness of his path. It makes you ask, okay, what's the basis for this confidence?
Yeah, exactly. Which leads perfectly into what Kassapa says next, right? He makes these two statements.
He does. After hearing all this, Kassapa says, it is difficult, Dukura, to be a samaka, difficult to be a brahmana, a spiritual practitioner, basically.
Right. That seems straightforward enough. The path is hard.
And then he adds, and it is difficult to know, Dujano, who is a samaka, difficult to know who is a brahman.
Ah, so it's hard to do, and it's hard to recognize someone who's genuinely done it.
Exactly. He's hitting on both the practice and the discernment.
And does the Bhagavan just agree?
He agrees with the premise, yeah, that it is difficult. But then he does something crucial. He redefines what makes it difficult.
How does he redefine it?
Well, Kassapa, being an ascetic himself, probably had a certain idea of difficulty. He apparently listed a whole bunch of external practices that ascetics did back then.
Like what?
Things like being naked, asalako, or looking food right from your hand, athavlakano. Really strict rules about begging, like not taking food from the mouth of a pot, or not accepting food if two people are eating together.
Wow, very specific.
Oh, yeah. And various dietary restrictions, being a vegetarian, sakapako, or even, believe it or not, eating cow dung.
Seriously?
Apparently so. Plus, wearing specific rough clothing like coarse hemp, silipidareti, or adopting extreme postures standing for ages, obahako, or even sleeping on thorns, katakapasayo.
Okay, that sounds difficult. Physically grueling.
It does. But the Bhagavan's point is critical here. He says, look, if that stuff alone was what made someone a true spiritual practitioner, well, it wouldn't actually be that difficult in the grand scheme of things.
How does he figure that? Sleeping on thorns sounds pretty difficult to me.
His reasoning is that even ordinary people, he mentions a householder's son, even a female slave, kumpatasyapi, could technically force themselves to do those things. The outward actions, however painful, aren't the real measure of difficulty.
Ah, okay. So what is the true difficulty then, according to him?
It's all internal. The real work, the truly difficult part, is cultivating the mind.
Such
Developing non-enmity, avira, non-ill will, abapachai, and actively cultivating loving kindness. Metachited bhaveti.
So inner qualities of kindness and peace.
Yes, and doing that to the point where it leads to liberation, mind liberation, and wisdom liberation, chetovimuti panyavimuti, which comes from the complete destruction of the defilements, or paints.
That's a fundamental shift. Difficulty isn't about enduring external pain, but mastering the internal landscape.
Exactly. It's a much deeper, more transformative kind of difficulty.
And I guess the same logic applies to the second part of Kassapa's statement, about it being difficult to know who is a true practitioner.
Precisely. If being a true Saman or Brahman was just about checking off that list of external practices, nakedness, weird diets, sleeping on thorns.
Then it would be easy to tell. You could just observe them.
Right. Anyone could see it. But because the real qualities are internal, the development of genuine virtue, deep concentration, profound wisdom those aren't immediately visible on the outside.
You can't just look at someone and see their level of non-ill will or wisdom liberation.
Exactly. And that's why it's truly difficult, Tujano, to discern a genuine master. You have to look deeper than the surface.
Okay, this is clarifying. But it raises another question. If it's all internal, how does one actually develop these qualities? How are they defined?
And that's the perfect next question. Kassapa asks exactly that. He wants to nail it down. What then is this virtue? Silasampada. What is this concentration? Siddhasampada. What is this wisdom, Panyasampada, you're talking about?
He wants the specifics.
He does. And the Bhagavan provides them.
So let's break them down. What is virtue, Sila?
He defines it primarily through abandoning harmful actions. Things like killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, harsh speech, basically refraining from violence in word and deed.
Okay, the ethical foundation.
Yes, but also actively developing compassion and benevolence towards all living beings. It's not just about not doing harm, but cultivating positive qualities too. And the result, an inner blameless happiness.
Okay, that makes sense. What about concentration, Sita?
This is achieved through developing deep states of meditative absorption, the jhanas. He specifically mentions the first jhana as an example.
And what characterizes that state?
It's described as being detached from sensual pleasures, free from unwholesome mental states like greed or anger, and filled with a sense of rapture and pleasure born from that very seclusion and focus, deep inner calm and focus.
Right. Deep meditation. And the third pillar, wisdom, panya.
Wisdom involves directing that concentrated, purified mind toward understanding the true nature of reality, towards knowledge and vision of liberation.
Liberation from what?
From suffering, from the cycle of rebirth. It leads to the profound, direct understanding that birth is destroyed, the holy life fulfilled, there is no further state of being, the end of the line for suffering.
So virtue sets the stage. Concentration sharpens the mind, and wisdom cuts through ignorance to achieve liberation.
That's a good way to put it. And the Bhagavan is very clear. He states there is no virtue, concentration, or wisdom higher or more excellent than these. This is the pinnacle.
And does he give a practical method for developing these? A path?
Absolutely. He explicitly points to the noble eightfold path.
Ah, the famous path.
Yes. He identifies it as the method, the way anyone can personally realize and confirm for themselves that his teachings are, as he puts it, timely, kalavadi, true, prachvadi, purposeful, attavadi, about dhammo, dhammavadi, and about vinaya,
And just quickly, the components of that path are?
right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. You can see how virtue, concentration, and wisdom are woven right into it.
Okay. So he's laid out the true nature of the practice, the difficulty, the discernment, and the path itself.
He has. And having laid all that groundwork, he then delivers what you might call the main lion's roar about his own attainment.
Right. The big claims. What does he say?
He makes these incredibly bold assertions. He claims that essentially no other ascetic, priest, god, or anyone in the world is equal to him, let alone superior, in 4 key areas.
4 areas, which are?
Supreme noble morality, adislir. Supreme noble austerity, adiyagucha, but interpreted here not as external self-torture, but as a kind of higher inner purification or revulsion towards unwholesome states.
Okay. Different spin on austerity. What else?
Supreme noble wisdom, adipanya, and supreme noble liberation, adivimutti. Basically, he's claiming peak attainment in ethics, inner purity, understanding, and freedom.
That is exceptionally bold. Did he expect challenges to that?
Oh, definitely. He seems to anticipate criticisms from rival wanderers and addresses them head on.
Like what kind of criticism?
Well, for instance, the idea that maybe he only teaches effectively when he's alone, in solitude, not in front of a crowd.
In his response?
He refutes it, says he teaches confidently in assemblies, large groups, not just hiding away in empty spaces. The potential criticism that he lacks confidence.
Yeah.
He counters that directly, stating he speaks with unwavering confidence. Or the idea that he doesn't answer questions properly or doesn't satisfy people's minds.
And he says he does.
He insists he answers thoroughly and leaves his listeners satisfied. And further, he tackles the idea that his teachings don't actually have an impact.
How?
He claims his listeners do find his teachings worthwhile, they do become confident, they show signs of that confidence, they practice what he teaches, and ultimately, they realize the goal themselves.
So he's claiming verifiable results in his students.
Yes, and he even gives a concrete example. He recounts a time in Rajagaha where another wanderer named Nigrodha questioned him about this concept of higher revulsion or inner austerity. And the Bhagavan says his answer left Nigrodha greatly satisfied. He's providing evidence, essentially.
Right. So that's the full force of the lion's roar. How does Kassapa react to all of this? He started with a question about a rumor.
The impact on Kassapa is profound, absolutely transformative.
How so?
He expresses just like extreme satisfaction and delight with everything the Bhagavan has explained. He uses these beautiful metaphors.
Like what?
He says it's like setting upright what was overturned or revealing what was concealed, like someone showing the way to a person who was lost or holding up a lamp in the darkness so that people with eyes could see forms.
So total clarity, illumination.
Exactly. A complete turnaround in understanding for him.
And what does he do then?
Immediately, right there, he declares he takes refuge in the Buddha, the Bhagavan, the Dhamma, his teaching, and the Sangha, the monastic community.
He converts on the spot.
Yes. And he asks for ordination. He wants to join the monastic order.
Does the Bhagavan just say yes?
Well, there's an interesting procedural point here. The Bhagavan mentions the standard rule for people coming from other sects.
Which is?
Usually they have to undergo a 4-month probationary period. sort of a time for them to adjust and for the existing monks to observe them before full ordination is granted.
Okay, standard procedure. Does Kassapa accept that?
He does more than accept it. It really shows his incredible earnestness. He says, "Sir, if that's the rule, I'm willing to undergo probation for 4 years, not just 4 months."
4 years. Wow, that's serious dedication.
It really is a testament to how deeply the teaching affected him and his commitment to pursuing it fully.
Did he have to wait 4 years?
The text doesn't explicitly say he did the full 4 years, but it does say what happened soon after he was ordained.
And what was the outcome for Kassapa?
He practiced diligently, in solitude, putting the teachings into effect. And very quickly, it says, he realized for himself the ultimate goal of the holy life, right there in that very existence.
He attained enlightenment.
Yes. He fully understood. Birth is destroyed, the holy life has been fulfilled, what had to be done has been done, there's no more for the state of being. He became an arahant, a fully liberated being.
What a journey. From asking about a rumor based on external appearances to achieving the highest internal realization.
An incredible arc, really. Shows the power of the teaching when truly understood and practiced.
Wow. Well, this has been an incredible deep dive, truly. We've gone from these ancient debates about, extreme asceticism versus maybe milder paths, all the way to the absolute core of what genuine spiritual transformation means according to this text.
Yeah, and seeing how that true mastery, as defined here, isn't about the outward show, not about how much you can visibly suffer.
Right. It's about that profound internal cultivation, virtue, concentration, wisdom, those deep inner qualities.
Exactly. And connecting that maybe to the bigger picture. This dialogue, though ancient, feels pretty timeless, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, it serves as this constant reminder, I think, whether you're looking at ancient spiritual paths or even modern personal growth.
Yeah.
That authentic achievement often lies in the stuff that's harder to see, the less visible qualities, things like compassion, clear thinking, real inner peace.
It really underscores looking beyond just the surface appearances, doesn't it? To see what truly has value.
Definitely. It challenges us to refine our own measures of success or mastery.
Which leads to maybe a final thought for everyone listening, something to consider.
Okay.
In your own life, your own pursuits, whatever they may be, where might you be focusing mainly on the external stuff? The actions, the easily seen metrics.
The quantifiable results.
Yeah. When maybe the real difficulty and the real key to discernment for genuine success lies in cultivating those unseen qualities of mind, of heart.
That's a powerful question. So you ask yourself, what truly defines mastery in your world? And based on this ancient wisdom, how might you shift your focus, even just a little, towards what truly deeply matters?